Hey everybody, it's Kason with the Greater Good Protocol. So, I just wanted to discuss a little bit about a podcast that I was just watching from Joe Rogan Experience number 1041 with Dan Carlin. I'm gonna start by playing the snippet. It's about a minute and a half of them just talking, and then I want to expound upon that a little bit because I had some thoughts that seemed like they seemed like things that I think other people are probably having too. I apologize, Joe, if this is the wrong way. I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to play the audio. I could reference it. I will reference the link at the bottom, but I'd like for people to be able to hear the audio right now so we can discuss it.
I mean, I keep trying to remind myself, because you and I both been doing this a long time, got into it pretty early on, and so for us it doesn't feel new, but you keep trying to think about, okay, what's this going to be like in 30 years,
right?
40 years. I keep telling everybody that what you're seeing now, and my children know no other world. I mean, in their minds, I tell my oldest all the time, at the time you were born, we weren't even texting yet.
Yeah.
It's all since you've come around. So I keep thinking we're still at the tip of the iceberg in this era that we're in now. What's podcasting going to be like when whole generations grow up and it's just a part of their world and podcasts are a part of it? And it won't even be podcasting. I mean, they'll be broadcasting into the matrix cord in the back of your neck or something. But I mean, we're still at it seems hard for long-term podcasters to understand. This is still the beginning.
It's almost impossible for us to predict, because when you really think about what we're doing now in terms of like you could put a YouTube video right now.
This is like that moment where you say, like, how old do you really feel now?
Make a video and it could go viral for whatever reason, and 1 million people all over the world could be watching your video like almost instantly. This was not only unheard of 10 years ago. Just go back 20, 30, 40. It's insanity. You're talking insanity. Like, people would be like, what the fuck are you saying? You have a phone in your pocket? That would be insane. You have a phone in your pocket that has a camera? What? You have a phone in your pocket that's a video camera that takes high definition video with stereo sound, and you can, wait a minute, you're uploading it through the sky? Just through the air? What? In real time? Like, instantaneously? That's insane. So now think, what could we be looking at in terms of augmented reality, in terms of virtual reality?
I'm working on something along those lines right now. It's
All right. So, if you want to hear more about their discussion, go to the link below. But I want to discuss my thoughts with you guys on where we could go and where we're going and what this means. YouTube and all these platforms, completely new abstractions that are in their infancy, that haven't fully seen the potential of what they can become as far as tools. We're going to take this in a very pragmatic sense, in a scientific order. This is the viewpoint and approach that I have to this. When somebody uploads a video on how to do something, they show, in a good video, they would show the steps. They would show doing each step, like how to build a barn door, a sliding barn door, like those things that people put and hang. Instead of putting up a normal door, put a barn door. You can learn how to build and do something in 15 minutes by just watching this and learning it. What can we do with the next level to this? How do you organize all of this in a way that speaks to the person, because eventually we're going to be flooded with, maybe we won't, but in theory you could have we have 5 billion people on this planet. You're going to have, what, 60,000 videos how to build a barn door? I mean, you're going to have the most efficient one. It's going to rise to the top. That's the one that reacted best with the public, that most people saw was educational. So that process of learning, well, of showing people and teaching people on how to do something, is from amateur submissions to professional submissions. There's a whole range, but the methodology works its way in there, and then people will watch the most popular movies because based on views and likes and subscribes to it, goes up in a hierarchy, almost like it has its own popularity count, like a person, like a movie star, or so all right, we got that. Let's fast forward 15, 20 years from now. What are we going to do when we have the technological ability to directly stimulate the brain and upload ways to think and to figure things out, or motor functions? You're literally potentially going to have a YouTube for the brain with how-to videos on how to crochet, and you'll just upload it and you'll know it. I mean, it'd be like the Matrix and putting the phone to your ear. Maybe it'd even work that way because you get a closer signal, with the phone to the ear kind of thing. I mean, kind of creepy if you think about the just the connectivity that happened there. But so the phone uploading this karate straight into Neo's brain, and that was the main character in the Matrix, and all of a sudden now he knows how to kick ass, or shoot a gun, or drive a bike like a maniac. So there's not just that, there's living experiences and memories. So could I potentially download a memory into my mind and then live it out in real time? Instead of watching a video on YouTube, I live out the experience that somebody else had, free falling from 60,000 feet and pulling a parachute. Having all those same sensations, the neurological reactions. I mean, just the sheer ability to be able to react and interact with the mind and the body so deeply is going to be, I think, my generation's way of saying, hey, whoa, now, get off of your Xbox, that my mom used to tell me, get out of your mind space, or whatever it's called, turn off your Neuralink and come back to reality. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be a bad thing. It's probably going to take longer than that to actually be public and put out there. 'Cause there's going to be things that need to be to take priority. Medical needs, military needs, scientific research, like furthering the ability to function as a human, so that way we can think about curing other things before we have it probably broadcast as a entertainment function. But I really think that you'll have a, I don't know, we'll call it the mind tube, because YouTube is just kind of a play on that. Just being able to actually learn how to maybe even learn an entire degree instead of in a 6-year master's degree to be a physician's assistant. It will take you 3 months, and all that information will just get loaded straight into your brain, and you'll know immediately what to do. And then let's say you have a doctor, right? They have a general understanding of all kind, like a general surgeon. They have a general understanding of how to do all these operations, and they come across something that they've never experienced before, or they have no clue what to do, and it's some extremely complicated surgery that has to happen now. I think a lot of times the speed in which the operation can happen factors in critical accidents and stuff like that, from a car crash or a traumatic event, and the longer you wait after stabilized, I'm talking about stuff I don't really know, so just forgive me. But I'm sure there's scenarios where you don't have 6 months to wait to fly out to a specialist in another country to perform surgery, or for them to come to you, and that you could just instantly upload. Maybe you don't have 20 minutes to wait for somebody else to come in to start the surgery, and maybe they could upload their knowledge of starting the procedure to the on-site physician while being transported in their autonomous driving vehicle. And maybe it's a drone operating, I don't know, but yeah, could we YouTube our mind tube robots? And so you'd be perfecting a function, or strategically going through a series of different methods to approach solving one idea, and just utilizing the human brain for what it is amazing for, and creativity and thinking outside the box. Always blows my mind when I see somebody just come up with a fantastic solution for something that that nobody else thought. They're like, wow, that was exactly what we needed to do, and it's like they came out of there from nowhere. Of course, that's most prominently shown in the movies, but What if that was just done by accessing your mind drive, mind tube, your Neuralink, and bam, like all of a sudden you are able to see the solution and how to get there and understand the consequences of the entire situation that you're in. Like, you know, maybe you could pull some Matrix style maneuvers and um, get into a car crash and get ejected from the window, and as the car's tumbling, fly through all the objects, you know, as if your mind was able to calculate all of that. But instead it would be just a flash, a snippet of information that your ocular nerve received and was loaded to your Neuralink and then uploaded to a supercomputer that diagnosed the correct nerve reactions that you should have, and in an emergency situation took over your body in a fashion of directing you to, you know, tuck and roll, or, you know, whatever it was necessary to avoid, you know, doing something. Military applications, don't even go there. I mean, talking about real ninjas there. But yeah, if anybody's got some cool thoughts, I don't know what you would name those functions or actions or teachings. I don't know. Would be a cool name for it, maybe. Like to hear anything you guys have to say, comments, you know, message me personally, whatever you think. And don't forget to check out the link below for Joe Rogan and Dan Carlin. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good podcast. You know, you don't have to watch the whole thing. It's like 2.5 hours long, but it's you know, it's good background noise while you're focusing on something else to just keep your mind moving in a forward fashion instead of being stagnant and stale and stuck. And, you know, if you're repeating or doing repetitive tasks, listening to something that is going to keep you engaged and not like buzzing out. You know what I mean by that? Like fuzzing out. Like, you ever just started driving down the road and you're traveling from a destination that you've gone to a million times. It's a half an hour drive home from work, and you get home. If I were to ask you, you know, do you remember this or that from the drive, and honestly you just blanked out for the last 30 minutes, your brain just went off autopilot. You know, you had that subconscious thought pattern, but a lot of times that subconscious thought pattern isn't really directed. It's just floating there. You're rehashing frustrations in your mind. Maybe you keep thinking about, damn, I'm so annoyed with you know, how this little piece of rubber on my steering wheel is peeling off, and you think that same thought 20 times on every single time that you drive home. You're just going through these automatic like cycles and repetitive thoughts, and that's not useful to you. That's not being aware of your surroundings. I'm not saying that you're not aware enough to drive. You're definitely not as keen on your surroundings and capable of reacting as well. But you know, just if you engage your mind in things that are peaceful, in things that stimulate you, though, I don't want people to like feel like, you know, over exerted and like they just drank like 12 cups of espresso every single time that they go to do anything that's, you know, somewhat relaxed. You just gotta chill, take it functionally. So don't polarize yourself too much, and you know, but you know, enjoy your life and find things that interest you that you could help improve your own life and the lives of those around you and maybe the world. And that's really important, because there's a lot of people that get just stuck doing just repetitive actions, like, you know, that there's got to be an accumulated waste of time that's happened. There's some kind of number out there, but now I'm wasting your time. So have a good night. Peace.